So you just got one of the new Oculus Quest 2 headsets. You heard you could play Steam VR and Oculus Rift games on it as well with a link cable, but who wants to be tethered to a PC to play these things? The Quest 2 already plays VR games wirelessly, so why would I want to add one to play PC games as well? I mean, maybe it's because PC games have better graphics or a bigger storyline or better games, or maybe it's because other people are in the house connecting tons of other devices and making it impossible to play anything wirelessly. Well, hopefully, not anymore. What's going on, everybody? This is Paul, aka Powerhouse21. A while ago, I did a review of the Nexus Link WB-1750 wireless gaming bridge, and Nexus Link, being today's video sponsor, set me up with the gear to have a nice, clean Wi-Fi signal to go with my Oculus 2 headset. NexusLinkUSA.com is a one-stop shop for many of your gaming networking device needs. Powerline networking units and coax to Ethernet adapters can give you a hard-lined Ethernet connection practically anywhere in your home. Have a hard-to-reach spot in the house for internet, or an older home without Ethernet jacks in every room, or one that doesn't really allow Wi-Fi to transmit all that well? Try the WB-1750 wireless gaming bridge kit and extend the reach and speeds of your internet to keep gaming in all corners of the home. Have an older printer without Wi-Fi that just doesn't need to be in a main room, but there's no way to put it anywhere else? Try a powerline adapter and hide that printer away so it's not taking precious space on your desk anymore. There are many things to choose from, and Nexus Link has a solution for you. Go to NexusLinkUSA.com for more information about all of these devices and more. When I originally reviewed the wireless gaming bridge kit, I linked them together with its own direct point-to-point 5 GHz Wi-Fi system to create a hard-lined Ethernet connection with some very impressive rates. In April 2021, Nexus Link will be making single units of these available for purchase instead of just in the kits. So this time, we're going to use just one of the WB-1750 units, and we're going to use it to make our own dedicated 5 GHz gaming Wi-Fi connection, which, because we'll be the only ones on it, should give us a great gaming experience. Before I get into any of this, I probably need to say that just because you have your own Wi-Fi connection, your internet speeds from your provider will not magically be faster than what you pay for. But what we're doing is separating you and your devices and preventing any sort of in-network Wi-Fi interference from all of the other members in the house connected to the other Wi-Fi network. Specifically, we are doing this not only for online gaming, but also to connect the Quest 2 and the Oculus and Steam apps on the PC to play Steam VR and Oculus Rift games on the Quest 2 wirelessly. So let's plug this thing in and let's get it set up. Getting the unit ready is really easy. Make sure the switch is set to AP, plug in the AC adapter for power, and an Ethernet cable connected to the internet. On the bottom of the device, there should be a network name, also known as an SSID, and the network password. The unit, when in AP mode, in its default configuration, should be ready to go as soon as you hit the power button. Mine automatically grabbed an IP address from my router, and everything else is on auto. It took a couple minutes for it to do that, but after it did, everything was fine. The SSID, transmit channel and width, password, static IP address, and more can all be adjusted manually in the settings of the unit accessed by your web browser. As long as you know the IP address of the WB-1750 unit, you can get in. The tool I use to find the IP addresses of my network devices is linked in the video description below, and everything can be found in the manual if you have any questions about it as well. The biggest issue that you may face is what Wi-Fi channel you need to use in your area. Depending on how many other Wi-Fi networks are around you, you may have to try quite a few different channels and broadcast frequency widths to find one that works well for you. I have over 50 different Wi-Fi networks around me, and the best place to test this was my basement, where I was able to lose many of those networks from my list. When you're in the Oculus Quest, make sure you're connected to the Nexus Link Wi-Fi network and not your normal home Wi-Fi network that everyone else is connected to. The Oculus recording software built into the unit does not allow me to show selecting or entering the network and password, but when I hover over the wireless network signal bars, you're able to see the network name that I'm connected to. To get wireless gaming onto the Oculus Quest 2, you'll need the app called Virtual Desktop. If you have the Quest 2, you'll want to make sure to get the Virtual Desktop app from the Quest 2 store on the headset or the phone app that you connected your headset to during setup, and not the PC desktop version from the Steam store or the Oculus PC app. Again, you want the one from the App Store on the headset or from the phone app. I don't personally know if the others will even work with what we're trying to do here, but from what I've read, there are many people that spent the $20 on the Steam version, and from what they said, they had to rebuy it on the headset for another $20. Not sure if that's true, but I didn't want to chance it because $20 is still $20. If anyone out there is using the Steam or Oculus PC app version of the Virtual Desktop program, please leave your comment below. I'd like to know what experiences you've had with it. Following the instructions to install the app to the VR headset and the small program Virtual Desktop Streamer app that needs to run on the PC, we're almost ready to go. And I know I'm not going into much detail on how to set up Virtual Desktop, but there are tons of tutorials out there on getting Virtual Desktop running and getting the settings optimized, so be sure to check YouTube for some of those. They were very helpful when I was trying to set this up for myself. And one other thing, before February 2021, Virtual Desktop, Steam VR, and wireless PC gaming on the Quest 2 headset was very much not natively supported and needed a patch to actually work properly. Those days are no more. So if any of the tutorials that you watch walk you through how to get side quests and a patch for Virtual Desktop, you don't need to do that part anymore. So you'll be able to get to your games quite a bit quicker than they could in the past. There are still many bugs and glitches to work out with the Virtual Desktop app and PC software, but it works well so far, and I know there will be more updates to it over time. Right now though, it can get a little rough here and there, so bear with any hangs or glitches you may see, because while my PC plays the game as expected and the Wi-Fi is keeping up with what I'm throwing at it, the Oculus is still streaming video and audio data, and we all know how new concepts in gaming can be at the very beginning. But so far, I'm really enjoying it and highly suggest this whole setup that I'm talking about today. Getting into the games were just as easy as most of this setup. There are a few ways to get into the games as well. From what I've watched, heard, and read, it is suggested that games are accessed from the Virtual Desktop menu screen. Select the word Games from the left-hand sidebar and all of the VR games that you have installed should be there. If they aren't, you may not have the Steam or Oculus PC apps running. To get to the Virtual Desktop menu screen, depending on where you are in the system, in a game, at a desktop, it really depends, but you'll either have to press and release or press and hold the left controller's menu button, the one that looks like 3 lines, and you'll see the games option as well as all of the other settings in the menus. At that point, you choose your game and it starts. I have found that anything related to Steam VR, it's best to just select the Steam VR option at the bottom of the sidebar. Everything seems to sync better that way, but with Rift games, I found it works best by using the Virtual Desktop Games menu that I talked about earlier. For my testing, I've been experimenting with the Lab from Steam VR and Rune from the Oculus PC app, since they appear to have quite a few moving parts to them and lots to see and explore. If you have any games that you think I should try, definitely leave a comment below because I am looking for new games to check out and have fun with. The overall gaming experience is very good. I'm noticing a bit of hanging here and there as I move quickly, but many of those issues ended up going away when I went down into the basement away from the other Wi-Fi networks in my neighborhood. The setup of this entire endeavor was very painless since the WB-1750 units auto-negotiate for IP addresses and already have a default network name and password built in. This Wi-Fi solution would also work very well in homes that have hardline Ethernet connections in each room, but the Wi-Fi coverage to certain rooms isn't very good. You could basically have your own Wi-Fi network just for you and your devices. So there it is, setting up your own Wi-Fi network for gaming with your Oculus 2 VR headset and playing Steam VR and Oculus Rift games wirelessly. You'll never want to share your Wi-Fi connection with anyone ever again. So thank you again to NexusLink for making all of this possible. Go to nexuslinkusa.com for all of the items that I've talked about today. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up and think about subscribing because new videos are coming out every 2 weeks. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.